fence expert. Who's that guy in that orange shirt? Who must be the fence expert? It's almost time to talk about the fences. It's time to discuss operations and expenses. It's really time to elevate small businesses. It's time to put Joe and drop his knowledge. It's relentless. This rhyme of mine is getting a bit ridiculous. So here we go. We're live with Joe. Enjoy the show.
What is up, Fence fam? So good to be back with you guys again, virtually, as it were. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for another live Ask the Experts or Ask the Experts live Q&A. I should know the title of this show by now, but anyway, it's neither here nor there. If you guys are listening to this on a podcast, you are listening to a recorded version of a live conversation I host most every Saturday from 10 a.m. Central to 11-ish Central. I say 11-ish because sometimes we go a little long, but we always have good conversation. If you guys like what you're listening to, be sure to share it with a friend. Also, be sure to review it. The team tells me it makes a big difference if you guys review it and give it an honest rating. Always helps. If you guys are watching this live, thank you so much. Whether you're listening or watching in on Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn, it always makes a big difference when you guys tune in. Also, engagement makes a big difference in how the algorithm picks things up. So be sure to say hello in the comments. Let us know where you're from. Today's bonus, and this is kind of like that show where the points don't matter or anything, but the bonus is, which regional AFA chapter are you in? And what events have you been involved in lately that you really enjoy? The reason for this bonus, if you've read the title, you know exactly who we're talking to. We're talking to Daniel with the AFA Midwest chapter. Let's bring Daniel up right now. Daniel,
Hey,
how
Joe.
are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I am well. I am well. Thank you so much for making time to come on.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, Daniel, you're not only with the Midwest AFA chapter, you hold a pretty key role in the chapter.
Yes, sir. Right now, I'm serving as the president as the Midwest chapter. This is my first year. Started in January, so I'm new and I'm learning and I'm growing.
You're at the helm, steering the ship.
That's right. Yes, sir.
Now, Daniel, you and I have known each other for a lot of years, for a handful of years. We actually met through the AFA, right? At some of the AFA events, that sort of thing.
Yeah, Fence Tech. I think I met you at Fence Tech, probably in Nashville, or I think it was in Indianapolis back in 2015.
It may, yeah, that sounds right. They all blend together. They all blend together. But we said, wait a minute, we're in the same neck of the woods. We ought to, and I honestly didn't know about the Midwest chapter of the AFA. So we kind of chatted about that, and the rest is left to history. Now, you and I know each other very well, but some of the viewers out there may not have met you. So how about a brief introduction on who you are and what you're up to?
Sure. So right now I work at Oakley Fence Company. It's in Stillwater, Oklahoma. I'm a third generation fencer, like a lot of you guys out there, and started building fence when I was 13. My dad put me in the back of a work truck, mixed concrete. We used to put sand and gravel, mix Portland and hollow mixer, and I'd mix concrete in the summer. And then I just every summer worked with the crews until I turned 16. You know how it is. You all of a sudden start, I could do that better than this guy. This guy's just not. So then all of a sudden, Dad's like, we'll just run a crew. So I started running a crew and kept going from there. And after high school, went to welding school, got all my certifications in welding just in case the fence industry didn't work out. Went to college, met my wife, then came back and started building fence again, and then moved to the office and sales in 2013. And after that, I think started rolling into my dad came in the office one day and was like, hey, I just nominated you for the board of directors in the Midwest chapter. And I was like, what? Why'd you do that for? He's like, that'd be good for you. So 2017, I got on the board and just kind of learned. And I watched, I think at the time, Barry Baker. Now he's with Homeland Vinyl.
Yeah.
He was the president and just kind of sat under his leadership and just kind of sat back and helped the best I could. And then Dan Hardy was next, and he did a 2-year president's term. And he came up to me. We were at Ignite in Nebraska, Matt Warner's place, and he goes, we were playing cornhole, and he goes, hey, you want to be the president? And I was like, no, there's a lot other better people out there that could be president. I don't think I could do. He's like, we want you to be the president. And I was like, okay, well, that's what you guys want. I'd be happy to help. So, and here I am.
Here you are. Here you are, steering the ship. No, I think we're in very capable hands. So I came in under Dan. So Dan had reached out and just said, hey, you've been nominated. Would you accept the nomination? I said, well, yeah, I'm happy to help wherever. However, I think that's kind of a common thing about us all is we're always willing to help just kind of however we can. And I kind of said the same thing. I was like, I don't know how much help I'll be. Like, I don't know much about boards or much about that. Listen, it's not, you can help. I promise. And then and that's how it goes is once you get involved, you look at, you're like, oh, okay. Well, yeah, this is manageable. I can certainly do this. I think some people are maybe overwhelmed just by, a board of directors is technically what it is, but that term maybe intimidates a few people. It intimidated me. I was like, what am I doing on a board of directors? Like, I'm a fence guy. And of course, Dan was like, Yeah, Joe. Like we're all fence guys. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Okay, but anyway, I would encourage everyone out there to, at minimum, get involved with the chapter, and then once you're involved with the chapter, get involved with the leadership of the chapter. It's not as intimidating as it might seem. So, Daniel, let's talk for just a second. So, one of the things I didn't understand before I came in was the difference in like a regional chapter and the national AFA and the regional AFA. Can you help break that down a little bit?
So the National AFA is your governing body, and then it's broken up in the United States in 16 different chapters throughout the
Okay.
United States. And we are in the Midwest. I'm in the Midwest. So Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, Arkansas, Missouri, and Iowa is a really big area, but that's our chapter. So if you are in those areas and you're watching this and you're not a member, we would be happy to have you on and come to meetings, especially if you're new to the industry and you don't have a lot of fence experience. It's just good to come to meetings, talk. That we have a lot of giants that are just peers in our industry, especially in our chapter alone. And if you have questions, we love to help you. People, it's kind of a family industry. A lot of family businesses. Unique thing about fence that I've learned is you can't learn it in a trade school or college. You either have to work for a fence company or you start it up and you go to the school of hard knocks. And so that's where the chapters come into play, where if you start meeting and talk to other installers and you share your struggles, other people are like, hey, I struggled with that too, and this is how I overcome it. And so
Absolutely.
that's kind of the good thing about chapters. It's a lot of networking, plus finding vendors, learning techniques, learning new tools to buy to help you out.
Yeah, and just the general networking of it, right? Like you and I met through an AFA event. Now, granted, that was a national event, but then we got to know each other better through the regional events. And I think that's a big bonus to this is, and we'll get into events here in just a minute, but the Midwest AFA yesterday had a on-site meeting with an accreditation, with certification, and you can get a lot accomplished at these meetings, but also you can just get plugged in with people. Is just getting to put a face with a name that maybe you see on social media a lot, that sort of thing. It helps make that personal connection.
Yeah, yesterday we had a spring event at Ameristar. Susie Wells headed up that project. She had, I think, 5 people take tests for gate certifications, but also afterwards we had Gary and Ben speak about gate safety standards.
Okay.
And they had a really good presentation just about standards in the industry, how it's come and how there has been people killed by gates and automated gates, and how we need to set standards and rules, and we need to get certified. Because if you think about it, if you're a gate installer, you have the keys to your town. Every gate has a code, and you can access all these gates. So we want to know who you are, that you're professional, have your background, and that you're certified, and that you're a responsible human being. So just from there, it's very important.
Well, and just to take a second on gate safety, a lot of this is you don't know what you don't know, right? A lot of this is just understanding, hey, here are the basics of gate safety. Here's some advanced, techniques, that sort of thing. Here's some products that will really help you lead your local industry in gate safety. I think that's probably the overarching thing is just you don't know what you don't know.
That's right.
But these regional events, these regional AFA events are absolutely worthwhile. They're a great time. I always enjoy myself at these events. So the Midwest chapter hosts a few events, which we're going to talk about here in just a second. But you mentioned like rubbing shoulders with some of the giants in the industry. And so I think back to probably my first golf tournament, the Midwest AFA. Actually, the first one I was at, it was actually Hard Rock in Tulsa. It was the last one at Hard Rock, and I was absolutely amazed when so we went around the room and everyone kind of introduced themselves, and I was like, "What? He's here, and he's here, and she's here. Like, these are some big dogs running around in this room. But then you sit at a table and everyone strikes up a conversation and you realize like, oh, okay, we're all just professional fence folks. It's not, I don't
And
know
we
what I
all
expected,
have the
but
same struggles. I don't
right.
care if you're very small, just starting up to running 15 crews. We all are struggling with the same things.
Absolutely. In different versions of the same thing, right?
Mhm.
And I think that's one of the benefits too is sitting around the table talking to these folks and saying, guys, what do you guys do with this? And then you'll get 2 or 3 different answers. One is, I don't know, we're still trying to figure that out. Or, here's something we tried and worked, or almost as effective. Here's something we tried that didn't work. Save your time. It's not. I'll give you an example. And this wasn't at a region. This was at FinTech. There was a group of us talking about inventory management, and this is a subject that's been on a lot of people's minds: is how do you accurately track your inventory? And it was mostly us telling each other what doesn't work. Like, well, we tried this and that didn't work. Well, yeah, I tried that and that didn't work. And so now we're like, all right, well, scratch those off the list. Hopefully, we can find something that comes pretty close to
And
working.
that's valuable. That's so valuable.
Yeah, which potholes to avoid. Absolutely. Just as valuable as where to go is where not to go. Don't go down that trail. That'll lead you down, 5 figures in losses and a bunch of heartache and whatever else. But anyway, that's what can happen at these events. And I know I'm beating this drum for a while, but I'm beating it because it's important, right? I think more people, I wish I had gotten involved sooner. I'll put it that way. Yeah, if you guys are not active in a chapter, absolutely should. I actually sat in. Daniel and I were talking about this before we went live. I sat in. Dan Wheeler invited me, and I see Dan Tuberville in the comments invited the two of us to sit in on Chicagoland's chapter. Talk about a chapter that's really pushing in the right direction, that sort of thing. And then, there's just a lot of good chapters out there. And if you're sitting here watching this thinking, well, my area doesn't have a chapter, it probably does. It's just maybe not as public as some of the other ones are, right? Not as just out there in social media or out there wherever. Reach out. You could, Daniel, so if I'm, and I don't want to give an example, but if I'm somewhere where I'm not sure if I'm in a chapter or not, how do I find out about that?
So AmericanFenceAssociation.com, their website has links at the top, and then there basically has a map of where all the chapters are broken up in the United States, and you can click them, and then from there you can find who your president is, how to reach out. Usually, for example, the other day I was doing an estimate and my phone rang and I called him back, and he was out of Kansas City, and he was like, hey, I'm not a member of the AFA or the Midwest chapter, but I'm thinking about starting my own business. Can you point me in the right direction? And I was like, sure. And we sat down and we talked for 30 minutes and had a good conversation. So, social media, everybody's got Facebook pages or the AFA website. You can find the information you need there.
Absolutely. Speaking of Facebook pages, you want to jump over to the Midwest Facebook page, kind of talk about what's going on over there. All right. The screen's going to look a little wonky. We tried to dial this in before, but screen size. Anyway, here we go. So here we are at the AFA Midwest chapter. So literally, if you guys are in, Daniel, go over the states with me again. I should absolutely know this, but
no, you're good. So we got Oklahoma, a little bit of Arkansas, Missouri, Kansas, and Nebraska and Iowa.
Okay, so if you guys are in that region, you can go into Facebook. I literally typed AFA Midwest, and the page popped right up. Let's navigate it a little bit. So this is going over. Of course, you can see some save the dates for some events we've got coming up. Also, Daniel, you did a great job recapping FinTech 2024 there in Nashville. This covered the event that you were just talking about there at Ameristar.
Yes.
Shout out to Ameristar. Thank you so much for just making the place available for us.
Another thing about Ameristar, if you've not gone to Ameristar's facility and just toured it, Just walking through it, getting a plant tour, learning from roll form steel all the way to the finished product and powder coat is just mind blowing and amazing.
Well, and
Really.
just the amount of automation and sequencing and everything that goes on there.
And efficiency. I mean, that's what we want in our industry is efficiency. We're always preaching efficiency. They have it down. They really do.
Absolutely. And I don't know if this was part of the tour when I haven't gone through it in several years, but then they also took you across the street to like the coil slicing, where they bring in these massive coils, run it through a slicer to get to different sizes for rails and posts or whatnot. Talk about impressive.
Very impressive.
One coil per truck, because trucks are limited to 45,000 pounds. Like, well, I could do some quick math, and that tells me that coil is roughly 45,000 pounds.
You don't want to drop on your toe.
No. They anyway. I agree with you, Daniel. If you guys are interested, if you guys carry Ameristar products, they put on a great. And it's not only a plant tour; it's also there's education involved in it as well. When I went through it, it was a 2-day event. I learned. I had, like you, Daniel, third generation in the fencing business. I've grown up with fence. I learned quite a bit there at the educational. I don't want to call it a seminar, but the educational event Ameristar puts on, just about product offerings, but also like how the coating works. They'll take you through and they'll kind of show you the coating process. And
nowadays with the technology and the coating process, if I'm not mistaken, it's almost to like cars, the same coating process to where it is, if not better than automobile paint. It's not going anywhere. You don't see that flaking anymore like we used to see 10 years ago.
Yeah, or fading. Fading used to be a really big pain, especially in well, you'd see it in black, but we always saw it in like the bronze for whatever reason. You're right in that the finish is dialed in now. It almost did look like an automotive line where it was running it through the coating process. It was great. All right, so next up, this event's still coming up, so if you guys haven't registered, you absolutely should. Daniel, tell us a little bit about Fishing with Fencers.
So Fishing with Fencers, this has been on my mind for a long time, trying to figure out how to do this. I've always wanted to get fence guys together, and it seems like a lot of fence guys are just all blue-collared. They love the outdoors. They like to fish and hunt. And so this is just focused on fence owners or installers. June 8th, Keystone State Park in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We're gonna have 10 professional fishing guides hired out, and we have about 40. I think we might be able to squeeze 44 people in. Seats available. We're going to launch 7 a.m. It's going to be professionally guided. So they're going to launch out of Keystone Harbor, go to their fishing spots. They'll have live shad. You don't have to bring any tackle. Just bring a cooler of snacks or drinks. And it's a 6-hour fishing trip. They're going to target striper bass. Okay. And so you're just going to basically go on a boat ride. And then they're going to hit their favorite fishing spots where the fish are biting. They're going to bait your hooks with live shad. They're going to tell you, the fish are 15 to 20 feet deep. You'll drop your baits down and then hold on tight. Those stripers right now average 5 to 15 pounds in the lake. And so it's a really good fight. And then they'll net them for you. They'll take them off the hook. You can keep 5 fish per person per boat. Once you guys are done fishing, they'll come back to the dock and fillet the fish and bag them up for us. Nice. And then after we get done filleting fish and everything, we rented out the community center. It's just right up the road. We'll have a catered meal, a barbecue catered meal, and just have a good time where we can talk about our catch and network.
Nice. Very good. Now, 5 to 15 pounds, that tells me the pictures here are not just like trophy pictures. These are average fish caught there in the lake.
Yeah. Yep. But all those fish are caught at Keystone.
Unbelievable. Let's take a break real quick. We haven't said hello to anybody quite yet, Daniel. Let's say hello to a few folks and then get on with the conversation. Muck Tape, hello. Extreme Tape Measures. Good morning, Joe. Good morning, Christopher. Looking forward to watching while working in the Philly area today. Welcome. We know this guy. What's up, Justin? Making all things new, deck and fence care. Good morning from sunny Plattsmouth, Nebraska. Gym time. I love it. I think everybody knows this gentleman. Tony Thornton with Thornton Fence Consulting Group. Morning, gentlemen. Hope all is well. It is here.
Should we put a plug in for Tony? I've got his book right here.
Yeah, great timing.
So, if you haven't picked up this book yet, contact him. I think he's working on an audio version. It's a good read, and it's worth the $25, $35. And I got the hardback, and it was a good read. Tony did
Absolutely.
a good job.
And it's one of those reads. It's not a one-time read. It's you bookmark a few sections, you read back and forth, you go back to it and revisit it. Good call, Daniel. That's a good plug to make. You can reach out to Tony Thornton for his book. Les West, Commonwealth Fence Company, Lexington, Kentucky, tuning in. Hello, Les. Appreciate you tuning in. Chris, how are you? Christopher Brighty says he's in the Midwest chapter with us. Hello, Christopher.
Hi, Christopher.
Al Martins says, good morning, Joe. Good morning, Al. Kevin Lent says, hello, Joe, from Kevin Lent at Elite Fence out of Raymore, Missouri. Hello, fellow Missourian. You would also be in the Midwest chapter. Michael Reed, we all know this gentleman. AFA is where you lead. Great impacts being made in the Midwest chapter. Appreciate hearing that.
Thank you.
George says, good morning from Minnesota. Good morning, George. We said hi to Dan earlier. We'll say it officially now. Dan Tuberville says, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Dan.
Good morning.
Mike Levy says, largest struggle is telling people fence tech is for business and not a vacation with friends. I think that's probably a fair point, maybe. I don't know. Everyone gets out of it what they intend to get out of it. You know what I mean? Now, what I don't want to hear is someone that does go and think it's a vacation and spends time not at Fence Tech, but maybe in the bars and surrounding area, and then saying, well, I didn't get anything out of it. Well, this is very much a you get out of it what you put into it sort of thing. Hey, I think you know this fella. What's up, Paul? Good morning, Joe and Daniel.
Hey, Dad.
Good morning, Paul. Tony says, in my humble opinion, chapters are the boots on the ground of the American Fence Association. I think that's well put. We were just talking about, before we went live, we're talking about Midwest chapter and talking about service projects that we're hoping we could tackle this year. And I think that's really where you see the boots on the ground for the AFA is these regional chapters, the service projects that they perform, just helping get the name of the AFA out there, but in a, very much boots on the ground aspect. Aaron Preston. Hey there, Joe Everest. Hey there, Aaron. Loves the show. Thank you for watching. And he is watching from Hermosa. Oh, man, that's not Hermosa. What is that? Homosassa Springs? I butchered that. Aaron, I'm sorry. Aaron's coming in from Florida with a town I can't pronounce. I apologize. Flores fam. Joe, what's up, my brother? What's up? I have a feeling I know which Flores this is. Hello. George is from the North Central chapter. Thank you so much, George. Hey, one of the questions I ask guys, just looking for content for the comment section. We're talking about chapter events, and there's some more down the road we're going to talk about here in a minute. What is your favorite chapter event you've participated in? I know different regions kind of host different types of events, right? So, I mean, obviously, we're going to talk about a golf tournament coming up. Memphis Tri-State hosts a massive golf event, but then you've got I know there's I just saw one for a regional chapter hosting a skeet shoot. That sounds like a great time. Well, Midwest chapter's done a skeet shoot in the past, and just interested in hearing what events in your region have you participated in, or maybe wanted to participate in. Sounded like a great time. This could also be an opportunity for everyone to kind of maybe learn what's going on in each other's chapters as well. Let me know in the comments. All right, Daniel. So getting back with fishing with fencers. So there's only 44 spots. Well, there are 40 spots, but you might be able to squeeze 44 in. So the 45th fisherman, out of luck.
Here, what I would recommend is if you're watching this podcast, and you're even slightly interested in going, get on the Midwest Chapter Facebook page. In the comments below, there's a link you can click.
Okay.
Just register. $150. It's not much money.
Let's see right
That's a full day. That's fishing and food, and it's a good time. Also, Keystone State Park has cabins available. They're cheap.
Okay.
Get on them now. They're probably available. Probably $100, $108, and you're just right there.
Nice.
If you don't stay at they also have campgrounds. So if you're a camper and you want to just make a weekend out of it, you can probably rent a camping spot and bring your RV or your camper. But there's hotels around in Sand Springs also if you're coming in from a long ways. But if you're just Oklahoma City, Tulsa area, it's just a quick drive over to Keystone.
Absolutely. Well, and even from, we're in Southwest Missouri, I think it's a 3-hour drive for us or something. It's not crazy. It's all interstate. So absolutely. Now I see, let me click over here. So there are also sponsorship opportunities available for the Fishing with Fencers.
Yes. So Fence Track just took the platinum sponsor. So I appreciate Fence Track for that. If you guys have never installed Fence Track, and you're a fence company that has builders that do high-end houses, they have a great product for privacy fencing around pools, pool equipment, or a backyard, a forever fence, and it's very versatile. Any infill you want to put in, Fence Track, 4 foot all the way to 8 foot tall. It's very versatile product, and I really enjoy installing it and selling it. Really.
And there's a variety of infills too, as well.
Yeah.
All right. So we've used it with natural cedar, something close like a 7/8, 1 inch nominal, tongue and groove. But they also have it available with like a vinyl composite type fill as well. Or you can supply like what we did was we just bought the Fence Track system. We supplied the infill. You could do it. You can kind of mix and match however you want to, really.
Yeah, as long as it's not thicker than an inch, you can put anything in it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, anything. It seems like it works best with as close to an inch as you can get, right? So 5/8, 3/4, 7/8 would be great. But yeah, you can add whatever fill. So what I see guys doing, well, one is composite. There's a really nice composite product available from Fence Track, but then also like a pre-stained cedar infill looks really nice.
Pre-stain works really good. You could also put like an Omega wire in it and be more of an industrial no climb system in a way, and look really industrial for like a business.
Okay.
It would look really nice.
Absolutely. Fantastic. All right. So in this sponsorship, platinum, not available. It's already been taken. Thank you, Fence Track. But gold sponsors available, venue sponsors available. Boat sponsors, are they still available, Daniel? Because I know there's talk of several people sponsoring boats.
We haven't had, we still need people to sign up. So once you get on our website, you'll see what's available, what's not available, and you can click. Or if you have any questions, my phone number is on the Facebook page. Call me and I'll try to help you out.
Okay, you got it. Dinner sponsors also still available?
Yes.
Very good, very good. And right on this flyer is your contact information. So if you guys would like to sponsor the event, get your business in front of fencing professionals, then this is a great opportunity. Absolutely. Hey, Matt's got a good point. Says corrugated steel looks nice too.
It's true.
There you go. I wish StreamYard would show us the emojis. It just says object right there. So, Matt, we're going to have to guess at which emoji it might be. Maybe it's the like smiley face with hard eyes, maybe, or maybe it's the, I don't know. Who knows? I don't know why that was the first one I thought of. That's weird. Okay. Moving on. Christopher says Garden State Chapter holds some great events, but Christopher, what events do you like the most? What we're trying to figure out is, just kind of trying to share information on which events work well for which chapters. Let us know which events that you love attending. All right. Let's see. What else we got going on here on the channel or on the Facebook page? Oh, okay. Oh, who's this guy? All right. Visiting
Blake.
our friends over. Yeah, Blake. Very good. There was another one here I was looking for. Here it is. Okay. Also have a golf tournament coming up. Is late September called fall, or is that still summer? Late summer. It's probably late summer.
So I would almost say beginning of fall because football starts.
Good call.
So
Good
I
call.
would say
Early fall.
During when we're planning this event, we're dodging our OU state school football games. It seems like.
But this is an event I've attended. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend this last year's event. I had a conflict, but this is an event I've attended a lot. It is a ton of fun.
It's a lot of fun. I mean, so our golf event starts the 20th. It's a Friday. We moved it to a Friday just because people were coming in earlier. It seems like you come in Wednesday and practice, and then golf on Thursday. Seems like Thursday night is becoming really popular. Shangri-La's got huge facilities, and their anchor they dumped a lot of money into, and it's basically like a giant outdoor patio overlooking a mini lake. It's got water, like a water fountain, so it's kind of a nice vibe. People just hang out there. Then there's a pool on the backside overlooking the lake, pretty much like this shot in the picture, and it's just absolutely pretty. It's just gorgeous. And Shangri-La is owned by an old fence guy, Eddie Gibbs.
Yeah.
Maristar.
It works in a lot of ways. But yeah, the anchor is what this facility is called. It's it's right next to Shangri-La. It's on property. It is. They also have about 1 million tennis / bocce ball courts. I don't know how many they have, but it is all of them.
I wish somebody would get something together. Or I think, what is that? Is it pickleball? Is it pickleball that's getting popular?
It's not bocce ball. It's pickleball.
And it's like, we need to have a tournament. Us fence guys are all competitive. We need to get a pickleball tournament or something going on. And
I agree.
Instead of golf, we can do a little bit of pickleball Thursday night.
Now, one thing I've never explored into, Daniel, you might know, you might not. What's in that inflated indoor facility?
It's another venue for a larger gathering.
Okay.
So they have like wedding venue or whatnot.
That makes sense. Okay. Got it. Because was it 3 years ago or 4 years ago when we were there? Yeah, we were there in the middle of a wedding. So hotel rooms were a little hard to come by just because the wedding parties were there.
This year we blocked off, I think they only have, I want to say they have 90 to 100 rooms. So we blocked off 60 this year. We blocked off more than last year. That's for sure.
Good. Yeah, I remember last year, I think some people ended up saying Airbnb. There's a ton of Airbnbs just all right. There's a ton of condos. It's a golf community. So a ton of condos available, but staying on site is always better. So golfing event, not just golf though, right? So a lot of folks will come in during the golf day so that they're there for the evening, and then there's a chapter meeting as well, right?
Yeah, we have a dinner. Our chapter provides the dinner that evening, and that's really good. They have really good food. We have Mexican, or I think a couple of years ago, we had tacos or Mexican. It was
tacos and fajitas, but that doesn't do it justice. Like just saying like tacos and fajitas, it was I don't know how to tell you how good this food was. It was exceptional.
And it was an outdoor setting
Mm-hmm.
overlooking the lake. And
Yep.
we've been really blessed with good weather the last 3-4 years. So.
We have, but I tell you, we've also been there when it's cold. So, I mean, late September can go either way. They've got a bunch of fire pits. So we started holding impromptu, just informal meetings around the fire pits, which started a tradition now of we all meet at the fire pit back behind the pool for cigars after the meeting. And it's really just another group of fence guys talking fence stuff. The thing I like.
I was going to say, you remember that one year we were at the fire pit and then Toby Keith showed up at the bar? And I think he bought everybody around a drink that was at the pool. It was
He
crazy.
did too. Because he wandered by. And I was like, that looks a lot like Toby Keith.
Yeah.
And Nathan was with us. He's like, no, yeah, he's got a place just like 2 coves over or something. Bought the whole group around of drinks there at the pool.
Never know who's going to be at Shangri-La.
It was incredible. But no, the thing I like is, I mean, structured meetings, the golf event, a ton of fun. And I can tell you from personal experience, you don't even have to be good to play because I am not.
No.
I play roughly twice a year. This is one of them.
Yep.
Right? It's a good time. With good fence guys. You guys do a great job of pairing people up. I mean, you can choose teams if you want to. Usually I'll just go in and I'll ask just to be paired up randomly. I like to just see who I get paired with and have a day of conversations. You guys do a great job of pairing, putting fencers with vendors. You get to meet people you've never met before. And what was it? Oh, I wasn't paired with them. We met at the fire pit after the guys from over at Southwestern Wire. So they're not too far off there from Tulsa. Guys that, I've heard of Southwestern Wire, obviously, and I'd seen postings in social media. And one of the guys I'd actually talked with a couple years ago, but I got to meet him in person, and we kind of chit-chatted for a while, just in a really informal setting. I think those are the most comfortable conversations.
Yeah, Randy Ward he's been doing the golf event. We have kind of a mini board that goes through all that, but he's over like the pairing, and he's been doing an excellent job. Randy Ward, you talk about a fence giant. Randy Ward is quite the fence giant in our industry. And
Agreed.
He's chapter president, AFA president. Like, I try to call Randy as much as I can. Hey, I need help with this, or what do you think about this? Because he has got so much knowledge.
When I tell you, anytime my phone rings and it's Randy, I stop what I'm doing and I pick it up because I know there's going to be a good half-hour conversation that I want to be a part of. I just don't know what it's about yet.
Yep. No, it's good stuff with Randy.
Absolutely. Let's say hello to a few more people here. Front Rock Fences, our brother to the north, says, good morning, Joe. Pounding post with the U.S. Hammer. Love to hear it. Devin says, good morning, guys. Love your videos. Good morning, Devin. Appreciate you watching. So Tony's got a whole host of events here. So poker play, golf outings, clay target shoot, fishing, family events. Pacific Northwest chapter hosts a huge event annually, and the Garden State chapter jackpot event is always well attended. Yeah, absolutely, Tony. We were just talking in the very beginning. We were talking about West Coast Fence Show coming up. We were talking about that before that went live, so I'm glad you brought it up during the live. Yeah, West Coast Fence Show coming up, jackpot event, the Garden State chapter. Lots of great events out there to get connected with. Family events is a big one, Daniel. Talking, where was it? Oh, when we were sitting in on the Chicago Tri-Lakes meeting, they had mentioned that down in Texas, they host massive chapter events that are focused on family. It's just family-centered events that happen to include golfers. There might be a poker night, but during the day it's at a water park or it's something to get the whole family involved in. I like this idea. I do.
Yeah,
and I think that's where you're going with fishing with fencers, right?
Yeah. So I was looking into that, and Keystone Lake also has Yogi Bear State Park or Yogi Bear Park.
Okay.
It's a water park. So if your family doesn't fish, I started thinking about that. It's like there's a water park, or there's a pool, a really nice pool with slides and everything. But they also have inflatables in the lake. So that's a big area, and it's a big obstacle course in the lake. And you can bring your family, and then they could partake in that while we're fishing if you wanted to. So
And then everybody meets up for dinner.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, Tony, great point on the family friendly events. I think that probably is a key to getting everyone together. I mean, fence guy, tradespeople in general, spend a lot of time away from home, right? So I think anything we can do to combine family with our professional passion is all for the better. Because I know a lot of times, I won't attend events only because I hadn't been home for a while, right? It's like I want to reconnect, right? I want to plug back into the family. So if we can host an event or hold an event that combines both of those, I think we're better for it.
And that's why I kind of like our golf tournaments at Shangri-La.
Yeah.
Because at the Anchor, there's an arcade area. So kids, I mean, you can hang out with people, or you can just take your family back in the back and play arcade games and get prizes. And
wiffle balls. There's a wiffle ball field just right there at just outside of the Anchor.
And if while you're golfing, if you really want something special, you just buy. They have massages and pedicures at the Shangri-La. So then
That's right.
Have your wife have a good time while you're golfing.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's the key, Daniel, is it's not just a golf tournament. I mean, it is, and we have a lot of fun, and we raise good money, but the family friendly, I think once people go with their family, they don't stop going. Like Nathan and his family attend for like a family vacation, after seeing what it is and what's all available there.
And real quick, you said raise money. So a lot of this, so the Midwest chapter, when we do these events, we try not to keep hardly any money in our bank account. Like last year at the end of the year, our past president, Nathan Downs, he suggested us to put our money towards scholarships for AFA University, and we donated $8,000 to the AFA University scholarships. So people out there are able to get a good fence education through the AFA, and that's meaningful. So we basically take in and then we invest back into the industry. That's what we want to do.
Yeah, we try to give back to. I mean, I think a lot of us can point to one or two times in our lives where we received a hand up from another fencing professional.
And there's been numerous. We had not too long ago. There was a fellow fencer up in the northeast that got injured, and we were able to help donate some money for that. And so just it's kind of like a big family. Once you're involved, we try to help out. Especially once our chapter catches wind, we're a really giving chapter, it seems like.
Agreed. We like to bless other people in ways that we've been blessed. I mean, I think that's a good way of putting it. And so that's what the funds go for. And Daniel, I appreciate you pausing on that, because I think it's worth talking about, is that these aren't funds that are just raised to, I don't know what, but they're raised to give back to our community, to the fencing community. Absolutely. Let's go. Let me click on, because the golf event also has sponsorship opportunities available. Same thing as the fencing or fishing with fencers. If you've got a business that you'd like to get in front of fencing professionals, this is a great way to do it.
Thank you.
Of course. Say hello to a few more people. USA. Whole country's got a channel. I love it. Oh, I remember watching your channel during COVID. Thank you so much. I'm glad your channel blew up. I don't know that we've blown up yet, but we are larger than we were before, so I appreciate that. I knew it was only a matter of time. Congratulations. Thank you. Yeah, so Dan's got a point. These meetings around the fire pit last until they turn the fire pit off. That's fair. Sometimes they're hosting like a wedding event or something, and they'll let things stay open a little bit later. sometimes there's nothing going on, and they say, "Well, it's time for us to let our staff get out of here, so we're going to go ahead and turn this fire pit off." And in that year, it was cool. So that had the exact effect they were hoping for. That we all were like, "Oh, this is way too cold to be out here. Let's go back inside." But that's fair, Dan. The meeting lasts until they turn the fire pit off. Devin says, question, think about using fence brackets. Simpson strong tie thoughts. Daniel, do you have any experience with those types of ties?
Simpsons, we use Simpsons on our 2 3/8 steel post. Simpson's a good brand company. It's more of the high end brand. Also, your other big box fence stores sell other versions, but Simpson is a good brand.
They are. So Nationwide Industries makes one as well. Same product, same thought. You can find those. I mean, if you've got a Nationwide rep, you can absolutely find them through them. You can also find them on ozfence.store. We sell them because we use them. We use them on gate. We'll use 2 3/8 on gates. The posts are typically a Postmaster type post, but on gates 2 3/8.
Simpson has 2 different styles. I think they call it A and then a 2A. So they have a bigger one and then a smaller one.
It's like a PGT2 and a PGT2A or something like
2A.
that. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. But Devin, I think these brackets I like these brackets in that you can tighten the bolt down and it stays in one place. You can do that basically one-handed with a tool in your hand. You don't have to there's different brackets available that you had to kind of put them together while holding them, and it's a 2-person job. These are, you just snug them. You can adjust them still while they're slightly snug. So that type of bracket I think is a good idea. Matt Warner says, learning from each other is so important. Absolutely agree, Matt. Absolutely agree. Look at this guy, fellow Oklahoman. Oklahoman? What do you call fellows from Oklahoma? Missouri?
Okies.
Okies. Okay, fellow Okie. Got it. Says, good morning. Good morning, Alan. So Devin's asking brackets versus no brackets. So if you're using a round, the Simpson style brackets are for a round steel post, a round post that's usually steel. No brackets in that scenario. Maybe you're asking ballistic nails or something.
Ballistic nails.
Yeah, Postmaster. Yeah, it's probably. So we'll use those on our. We'll use a Postmaster style post on our fence post, and then gate posts are typically a 2.5 inch or 2 3/8 schedule 40. But Daniel, when you guys are using steel posts, how do you attack that project?
2 3/8 post. What do you mean for the Simpson brackets?
No, so for your fence posts, are you going round? Or are you going Postmaster? And I say Postmaster style because there's also lifetime. There's other options out there.
So our base would be a 2 3/8 095 post, and then if a customer wants to upgrade and they're like, well, we just don't want to see that ugly steel post. It's like, well, we could offer a Postmaster post and cover it, and then you won't see that. Or we've done black powder coated post also, and you can get black powder coated Simpson brackets.
Absolutely, that would be a really nice look. So would that be your? Would that be maybe your mid option? So galv round, black round, and then a Postmaster style hidden post. Maybe.
I think it's all in preference because it all. I would imagine it's all pretty much the same when it comes, because Postmasters are really comparable to 2 3/8 right now.
Yeah, well, that's a great point. So 2 3/8 with depending. So for a 6-foot fence, we would use 3 brackets on the post. So a 2 3/8 with 3 brackets, you're in the same ballpark as the Postmaster, especially if you're talking about black.
Right.
There you go. Well, so you got different options. That was an answer without an answer.
Yep. It's all about the customer, what the customer needs, what their needs are, how to meet them.
Yep, absolutely. So, Daniel, let me ask you a question, and I'm going to spring this one on you because it's a thought that's in my head. Are you guys offering wood posts at all on a privacy fence?
I haven't done a wood post in years.
Yeah.
I try not to touch them anymore. Just Oklahoma's got so much wind. The treatments, we used to put them up years ago when I was a kid, 4x4 post all the time. Once the EPA got into that treatment and started messing with it, it just seems like they really warp a lot in our area, which we're in an extreme state. Lots of wind, lots of humidity, lots of dry heat. So it just didn't do very well, and callbacks are no fun. So especially right there at the latch post, pulling a post up and pulling that concrete wad up and then re-cementing it, and it's just a headache. So
absolutely agree. The reason I ask, so we started offering wood post again during the pandemic, just because steel, the price difference started getting pretty far apart. So we started offering wood post again. And then we remembered why we didn't offer wood post.
You got that first phone call again.
Well, and we knew what it was going to do, right? So all of our gate posts are always steel. They're always 2 3/8 round. Just it works with the Shark hardware we use. But for the fence posts, they're twisting like crazy. Some of them are warping. Almost all of them twist. And I think you're right. It's the treatment in them. Back when CCA was available for fencing use, that was some good stuff. And that's the problem is, and I did a few videos on this talking about it, and people are like, well, I've had a wood post in my yard for 30 years, and it's great. Yeah.
And I can't debate that, argue that, because we've them up that we've installed 20 years ago, and they're still perfect,
Yeah, my dad's got some at his house that we stripped the pickets and the rails off of. We left the post, great condition, refaced it. The problem is those posts are not available. Either if we're talking about either wood quality, like just the lumber quality itself, or treatment quality, neither of those are available in the market
only in
today.
ag purposes now.
Yeah, ag, or there's also like a saltwater exemption or something, to where if they're used for like piers or something. Now, not to say that folks in ag communities that have access to them aren't using them, but in our area, not available. So you're left with, ACQ and MCA is what's in our market. Neither one of those. They're each as awful as the next. And just in terms of, we've tried ACQ, they twist. Right now we're doing MCA. Also, not great. And we put right on our proposal, we do not warranty treated pine products, either against workmanship or because it doesn't matter how well you install those, they're going to warp, twist. And so we put all that in our proposal. Hey, this is what to expect.
And on the customer side, you think about it, if you subtract off the cost difference, the customer's really saving $200-$300. Is that worth the headache?
No,
it's going to cost that to get 2 guys in a truck to go out there if you get a 50-mile-an-hour wind and it snaps off.
Exactly. And that's what I'm telling them is, you save money with wood post on day one. Now, the first time you replace it, you've spent more money than you would have with a wood post, because that service call to come out and replace 1, 2, 3 posts is going to far outweigh the upgrade cost of going to steel today.
Yeah.
And what's the saying? Crying once is better than crying for a lifetime, or something like that. If you spend the money today, you're not going to regret it tomorrow, sort of thing. But there's still, we all see this in each one of our markets, right? There are independent contractors that will use materials that they get from the big box store, which that's a whole different level of quality. But they are the cheapest option. And so I think part of that is asking the customer, when I'm giving you this bid, what is the most important thing to you on this proposal? Because I'm going to put the quality of materials, I'm going to put our timeline, and then I'm going to put the price. Of those 3, which is the most important?
And experience.
Well, experience, absolutely. Yeah. Which one of those is the most important? And if it's price, well, we can have a conversation right then and there that I will not be the least expensive. And if I can ask you a favor, if you do see that I am the least expensive, could you let me know? Because I've messed something up. It's that shouldn't be, because there's a number of reasons, right? Is we can talk, to your point, experience. We can also talk about quality, and maybe experiences in quality, because we talk about build quality, material quality. We talk about reputation as a part of quality, timeline. If you need it done next week, I'm not a great option for you. I mean, we're typically, I think right now we're about 6 weeks out. So, and we're not going to be the cheapest, but if you can wait a little bit and you're willing to pay for the quality, then I think we'll probably be a good fit. That tends to weed out some of the tire kickers. So Matt Warner's was here earlier. He might still be here. We use My Salesman to pre-qualify. I think that is a great tool. This happened. I got the email response today. So a lady had filled out a quote tool yesterday. I sent her an email, or Job Nimbus automatically sent her an email saying, I would love to jump on a call, talk about your project. She replied back, I didn't know what fence cost. This is far outside my budget. I'm going to have to put the project on hold for now.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting me know and not having me come out, spend an hour, come back, work up a proposal, or work up a proposal there, depending on what your process is, to find this out after all that.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't know where we were going down that rabbit hole, but wood post versus steel post. So, Devin, I hope that answers your question. Tony says, great show, guys. Gotta go. Keep on fencing. Tony, thank you so much for joining us. Oh, I guess we answered Devin's questions, because he said, thank you guys for all that you guys do. You've got it. You've got it. Well, Daniel, we're right at an hour.
Okay.
Look at that. So let's recap. Coming up, well, let me get back here. So let's recap the events. Oh. We got Fishing with Fencers is what's coming up next, June the 8th, Keystone Lake State Park.
Limited seating, so sign up now.
Yeah, there's only 40's ideal, 44 can be made to happen.
Yes.
Okay? So be sure if you have an inkling that you want to go, sign up to make sure that you've got a spot on a boat. A what? A spot on a boat,
Yeah,
not a spot on a bot. We've gone too long, Daniel. My mouth is starting to. If you want a spot on a boat, be sure that you register now. If you are a vendor that would like to maybe bring customers on this, then sponsorship opportunities are available. You can sponsor a boat. You can also sponsor the venue, or you can sponsor the dinner. You could sponsor both if you'd like to. But you cannot be the platinum sponsor because Fence Track has taken that honor. Thank you so much, Fence Track.
Thank you so much.
Huge shout out to Brett and the Fence Track family. Absolutely. Next event on the agenda is the golf tournament. In September the 20th is the golf tournament. Awards dinner follows the golf tournament. So, an awards dinner, that's also the meeting. Is that right?
The meeting, we have the meeting first, and then we roll over to the awards dinner. We give out the cash prizes from the golf event, and then I think we'll have a raffle. People will buy tickets as they enter and sign up for the meeting, and a lot of suppliers donate a lot of stuff, and then you get a lot of free gifts. And it was a lot of fun last year, that raffle.
Yeah, as a fence guy, it is incredibly fun to attend these events. Of course, there are also sponsorship opportunities available for this. I will say this. I mean, yes, Daniel and I are on the board. Daniel's the president. I just serve on the board, but so we're biased when we say this, but as a sponsor, you get a tremendous amount of value. I think we're all of the same opinion that we want to over deliver on the value to the sponsors. All right. So for either of those events, for more information, you can reach out to Daniel. Jump on the Midwest AFA Chapter Facebook page by searching Midwest AFA Chapter, and it pops right up. So.
Thank you so much for having me, Joe. I appreciate it.
Daniel, thank you so much for coming on. We talked about ways to kind of get the message out because anymore it's hard to actually reach the fence guys, right? And fence folks.
And if you're a new fence guy, if you need anything, reach out to me. I've got my cell phone on all the time. I'll if I don't answer, I'll call you right back, and I'd love to talk fence and meet you. And if you are a member of our chapter and I don't know you, please come say hi and talk to me or text me, or I'd love to start up a conversation with you. So.
Absolutely. Come to the events. They are a great time. Again, so northern parts of Arkansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Nebraska, Iowa.
Kansas.
Did I miss anything? And Kansas. How did I forget Kansas? It's right there next to us. Sorry, Kansas. But no, if you guys are in any of these great states, be sure to reach out. We'd love to see you. Our meetings generally have really good attendance. So when you show up, you can be amongst fencers that maybe you haven't met before, vendors that maybe you've gotten bids from before, but you don't have a personal connection with them. It's a great time to get plugged in and, on the same page with the fencing community in your region.
That's right.
So, all right. Well, Daniel, again, thank you so much for taking the time to come on. I know Saturday mornings are tough. You've got a young family, so tell your family thank you for me for letting you come on for a bit.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate everything you do for our industry.
Oh, you're very welcome. We're all here to help. Well, guys, if you're watching, thank you so much for making it to the end. If you're listening to the podcast, thanks for making it to the end of the podcast. If you'd like to participate in this live discussion, check out Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, search Joe Everest, and on any given Saturday at 10 a.m. Central to roughly 11-ish, you can tune in and become part of the conversation. We'd love to have you. For now, Joe Everest with Daniel from the Midwest AFA Chapter, wishing you a happy Saturday and reminding you that good fences make good neighbors. I'll see you next time.